Hey everybody, guess who? Barber Dave, Barber Dave's Barbershop at Home. Welcome to day 5 of what I'm calling the 777, 7 days, 7 shaves, 7 videos, and the DESE shootout. Now, a couple of audibles that I called, because I did say at the beginning of this, way back on Wednesday, that I was going to pick the 7 razors that I use the most, and I was going to try to include a gem style. Don't really use gem styles very much, and I've got 3 other razors that I use on a regular rotation, so we're going to use that for that. But before we get started, don't forget, right down here, www.theshavingcadre.com. Come see us. We think that we're the finest shaving forum and gentlemanly forum on the interwebs, so we'd appreciate you come visiting us. And then right over here, you'll see the barber pole with the cowboy hat, just like right up here. Click on that. That is my subscribe button. Please subscribe, like, comment, ring the bell for notifications, and all that kind of good stuff. And most importantly, look down in the details section of the YouTube portion of this video if you're not watching it on YouTube and on the Cadre. I've got a list of characters. Those guys all support the Cadre, and they also have their own channels, as well as the manufacturers of the soaps and the items that I use in my videos. Don't get paid by any of them, but please support their channels. And speaking of, the video today, because we're going to be talking a lot about this guy, Nurse Dave's Shaving World, sponsored for today. But if you notice, I did that Wildcat, Arizona Wildcats. Oh, okay, that was terrible. But anyhow, this video is brought to you by Nurse Dave's Shaving World, the bluest poker chip in San Francisco. You can bet on it. Now, why are we talking about Nurse Dave? Well, we'll get to that. We'll get that in a minute. And it is another Oh Dark 30 shave. Now, why on my day off, my first day off, am I up at 5 o'clock in the morning? Well, there's a small animal called Kona. He's not so small, but decides to wake me up. Plus, I wanted to get this done because we're headed out. So what are we using today? Well, it's all about favorites today. Now, will this be the winner? Ha ha ha, some of you guys think so. And we're going to have full contest details of what I'm going to be giving away tomorrow's shave. But we're bringing out the Blackland, the Vector, the one, the only, and yes, ladies and gentlemen, the best SE blade razor on the market. Now, I have to say with a caveat, I have not tried the Saber, so I'm gonna reserve. But currently, the finest, and I don't care what anybody says, this is the most beautiful razor ever made. So, Sean at Blackland, you did a great job. For the soap today, another favorite, and please look down in the comment section for this gentleman. You want to try his soaps, and that's CBL Soaps Orion. This is my favorite soap, bar none, favorite base, and this is the Hammam Spa, which is a take that I had him made on Penhaligon's Savoy Steam. We're going to talk a little bit about how you lather this, because it's a little bit different. But again, www.cblsoap.com. I'll have that link down in the description. Make sure you check that out as well. For our brush, probably one of my favorite Sorrentino brushes, because I use those all the time. Eric Sorrentino Brush Works. This is a beautiful, beautiful brush, and believe it or not, it glows in the dark. Why, I don't know, but we'll find out maybe during a Halloween shave. And I'm rambling, yes. For our aftershave, we're using, once again, CBL Aftershave Tonic in the Hammam Spa. And then the namesake for the soaps, and I don't have too much of this left, sadly, because they don't make this version anymore, Penhaligon's Savoy Steam. This is just a fantastic. Then, of course, we're going to be using Quinn's and the alum and everything else. So, yes, and to Matt, yes, this is shameless self-promotion. But this was done by Glenda's Good Witch Products. So, there you go. Okay, let's talk about loading the soap. The soap is unique. It's very, very soft and creamy. And when you first load it, what I do is I float a little bit of water on top of the soap. And it comes in this really, that's another thing, the most unique soap container. And I've talked about this on other videos. But it's a vacuum-packed, you can hear that, container. Real nice. But a very soft soap, almost like, it's got the consistency of whipped butter, I guess would be the best way. So when you first load it, wet your brush. I found that synthetics work the best, and you're going to get a pasty type of thing. And when it first goes on, everybody goes, uh-oh, what's going on here? So we'll go over that. So what I do is I wet my face, and then I'll just kind of put it on. It goes on very, very pasty. And you're thinking this is never going to amount to much. Then what I do is I add a little bit more water to my brush, and I'll go back to the container and load a little bit more soap. And like again, it'll get very pasty, very thick, almost like spackle. And then what I do is I just dip the brush in water, and it'll appear as if this soap's never going to explode. But as it reaches a certain water ratio, you'll know. And as I said, I found that synthetics work the best. But you can already see that it's starting to volumize a little bit. So it does take a little bit longer to get right. But once it is, I have not found a soap that has a better glide, cushion, and slickness in it. Now, it's hard for me to do this because Chris Lindsay, who owns CBL Soaps, is also my business partner, one of my business partners in the shaving cadre. So a lot of times it appears as though I'm promoting his company. It's because we're business partners. That's not the case. There's a very long story on how CBL Orion became the soap, and quite frankly, it's in my opinion the perfect soap. So make sure you check out www.cblsoap.com. Okay, the Vector, widely known throughout the multiverse of the best SE razor, and it is my favorite in the den so far. Now, will it win the best SE razor in the den for the contest over these 7 days? I don't know. I've had some really good shaves, because I'm not just judging it on the usage and how much I use it and how favorite it is. I'm judging it on, efficiency, how long does the shave last, and so forth. Now, we said we were going to talk about Nurse Dave, my buddy, my pal. And happy anniversary, by the way, Dave and Pantea. I should say to Pantea the fact that she's had to put up with Dave all these years. Anyways, Dave likes the Orin, the Occam, whatever it's called, okay? But if you've seen this razor, okay, basically, why would you shave with something that you can get as a handheld cheese grater at Crate and Barrel? That's what it is. It's a cheese grater. It looks just like a cheese grater. Is it a good razor? Yes. Does it shave well? Yes. Is it ungainly? Yes. Does it have the lines and the beauty and the streamlinedness of this? Not even close. It looks like Bullwinkle. But I started to think about that. Why does it look like Bullwinkle? And then I looked at Dave. And then the epiphany hit me. The reason why Dave loves that razor so much is because of Moose and Squirrel. If you look at Dave, tell me if you maybe do it out of one eye or squint, that he doesn't look like Boris from the Rocky and Bullwinkle show. So if that's the case, then I understand. Because, of course, the razor does look like Bullwinkle. I mean, if you haven't seen one, go look at one of his videos, or one of Rich's videos, Major Rich, who's also down in the comments or the detail section. And it does. It looks like Bullwinkle. Their claim to fame is it's an easy load. The blade actually bends a little bit to bend to your face. Please. But that's okay. Nurse Dave is my friend. He's my brother. He's my pal. And I appreciate his psychosis when it comes to liking that razor. But again, look at the razor when he uses it. It looks like Bullwinkle. Look at him. He's got that Boris Baronoff vibe going on. So I can see him getting up in the morning and going, Natasha, in this case, Pantea, Natasha, I think I'm going to use the Bullwinkle racer today because I like moose and squirrel. Okay, that was a bad imitation, but you get the idea. Yeah, it's too early. I've been getting up way too early. I may be having a small breakdown, but as I said, I mean, and getting back to the favorite razors, and Dave knows that I'm joshing with him because we go over this, which is the best. But I think that if you go on, a lot of guys really like this razor comparatively to the Bullwinkle cheese grater crate and barrel $59.99 razor. But the thing about the Vector is it's perfectly weighted. It's very similar in usage to the ASD2. You can race around your face with this and really not worry. It's almost a no-brainer shave. And I use the Feather Pro Guard in it. I know you can use other blades, but I've just found that the Feather Pro Guard's the best for me. So we're going to have full details on the contest, because the contest is going to take place right here for the giveaway. And I hinted yesterday that it is something you put on your wrist. Yes, it's a watch. It's from my collection, so it is used. Just be advised, it is a used watch. However, it'll go to a lucky winner. And I'll have the full rules tomorrow, but just know that to win it, you have to guess and put in the comments the razors that we used during this week's 777, and which ones are my favorite from 1 to 7. And I know some of you are thinking, oh, I got this in the bag. Well, maybe, maybe not. And then if nobody gets it exactly right, then what I'll do is I'll take everybody, throw them into a hat, a digital hat in this case, and do a random drawing based on how many people got right. So if you get a certain number right, you get one entry. We'll figure it out. Tuesday's too far away to worry about it right now. But I'll have all those details, including a picture of the prize, on tomorrow's video. Okay, let's finish up press 3 with the Vector. As I said, you can just fly around your face with this. And I find that with the Orion base, now, don't get me wrong, CBL doesn't have any bad soaps, but the Orion base is by far, in my opinion, the best soap, and it's the best soap I have in the den, period. I probably don't use it as much as I should because it does require a little bit more time to get exactly right, but once you do, and the residual slickness is amazing. As always, right in this area, a little bit of cleanup. And that's also one thing that I'm looking at as far as which razor I'm going to pick as my favorite, is how much cleanup, and again, how long does the shave last me throughout the day? And the fun and how easy the razor is to use. And this one's tough to beat, I got to tell you. I mean, it's always been just it's like a little sports car. I mean, look at this thing. I mean, it's just, it's unlike any other razor out there in the market. And just a fun razor. Blackland Vector. If you don't have one, get you one. I guess they have an open comb version of this too, which I don't think, for me, is not necessary. For instance, just right, like the residual slickness of CBL Orion is just stupid good. That's why, to me, it's the best. It's the best soap, period. Let's see what the alum says. Absolutely nothing. Oh, also, good news, great news. As Nurse Dave was so kind to tell everybody about my Canadian October special at Hombre's Barbershop, according to him, the sweetest smelling barbershop in Tucson. We found out yesterday, our spies found out that Nurse Dave Shaving World, is having an October special as well. Basically, if you go to his house, because he just received a wonderful professional level espresso latte vacuum cleaner, refrigerator, do everything machine. And if you show up and say the secret password, he will make you a cafe latte, an Americano, an espresso. Now, isn't that nice? I mean, so now you have Barista Dave. So that's wonderful. So make sure that's his October special only at Nurse Dave's Shaving World / coffee shop. Okay, we'll get cleaned up. So day 5, 2 more days, 2 more razors. Not sure which ones, because I really, I said I'll pick 7 of my favorite razors. Unfortunately, it could be more than 7, so I've got 2 more to pick, and it's a tough one. Because one of them holds a nostalgic feel, and the other one I grab for all the time. And then one, it's tough. So let's go over what we did again for day 5 of the 777. So far, obviously, this was always been the favorite, and it's probably the front runner right now, maybe. I'm not going to give any hints. The Blackland Vector with a feathered Pro Guard blade. The brush today, obviously my favorite brush maker, because I use him 99.9% of the time. And that's Sorrentino Brushworks, and this is the Barzini style. And it is a vintage one because it's got the vintage logo of ours, and it is a glow-in-the-dark, and it's got a cashmere knot. If you haven't tried this cashmere knot before, it's fantastic. For the aftershave, once again, we're going to be using CBL Aftershave Tonic, and this is like a milk. It's creamy, but it is the properties of it are just incredible. Oh, you know what? Faux pas. Quinn's. This time we're using cucumber and mint. So we're going to have to use the aftershave again. Rats. Darn, I have to put on more aftershave. Doesn't that suck? Again, CBL, Aftershave Tonic, Hammam Spa. Now, the Hammam Spa, if you haven't tried it, or Penhaligon's Savoy Steam, is basically, it harkens back to just a very clean, the alcohols and stuff that used to be used in massage rub downs and that feeling of a steam room and stuff like that. It's just a wonderful, fresh fragrance. Just wonderful. And we're using, again, neutral talc, using Clubman. Mainly because it's easy, it's fast, it's neutral, and it's the #1 choice of most barbers around the world. And it's just, it doesn't ruin any of the flavorings of what you're going to use. So again, Penhaligon Savoy Steam. Now, they do still make Savoy Steam. They don't make it in this huge tankard anymore. And they've made it more of a unisex scent, which is okay. It has a little bit more pink pepper in it than this version. This is definitely more alcohol forward. Definitely a little bit of lavender in it. And this is a cologne. This is not an EDT and everything else, but it's just wonderful. Very fresh. Can be worn all the time. Okay, folks, that's it. I certainly appreciate it. Once again, don't forget to come see us at www.theshavingcadre.com. And again, don't forget to look at www.cblsoap.com. I think you'll be happy to get the Orion base if he's got any left in stock. So we're on day 5. We'll see you tomorrow for day 6. I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful, blessed Sunday, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Take care.